you've got some really important blood vessels on the inside here. So you want to protect those. So you want to keep your knife and whatever you're carving outside of your legs. So that usually means carving off to the side. So I'm not going to sit with it in front of me. I'm going to think about turning my body and using it off the side. That way, if I miss the stick or something, I'm not going to hurt any part of my legs. They're out the side. And some older people would be fine using a knife out in the air. But when I'm out in the forest, I'd like to use a log or something else to cut into. So if I'm using a knife, I'm going to think about cutting down towards something, so if I slip, the knife doesn't go very far, it doesn't go flying off, it doesn't injure anyone else. So that means I can be very controlled and push down easily. So when I'm using a knife, there's a few basic cuts and ways that I'll use it. So when you look at the knife, you can see that you've got a curved bit and a straight bit, and it comes up to the handle. So the point nearest to the handle is where it's best for carving. So you want to be really close to that handle because that gives you a lot of control, so you keep it really close. And it also tends to be the easiest to sharpen, so therefore it's the sharpest edge. What you can also do, so you can just push it straight down. You just go push with a really solid grip. So I'm gripping it as if I'm gripping a bicycle handlebar, something really strong grip. And you can just push. And if your knife's sharp enough, that's usually enough. And for soft woods and green woods and bark, it'll do just fine. If you find yourself struggling, what you can do is start to move the knife blade along, sideways, as you cut. So you start at one end and you move towards the point of the blade. Because if you think of a straightened knife, when you're chopping, you pull the blade across. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling blade across the grain so I can go out. So if I do it really slowly, I'm running from one end of the blade to the other. I'm holding the knife then at an angle. So that will get you through some thicker pieces of wood. So at the moment what I'm doing is I'm holding the wood in one place and then I'm moving the blade down. What you can do that's even safer is if you hold your blade in one place, decide the angle that you want, and then just pull back. So you can just pull the wood back. And that works really well for stripping things like bark, because you can rest your hand up against something, give it a really strong grip, and then just pull. Okay, so those are the two basic ways I use it. I either use the blade moving or the stick. Now if you don't want it to go too far down a piece of stick, so say if I wanted to stop halfway, what I would do is what I would call a stop cut. So I'd push the blade in, rock it backwards and forwards, so I've created a cut there. So when I move down towards that point, I'll stop. And there'll be a nice clean line there. So you can do it with a saw as well. You can get a saw, cut part of the way through, so that it makes it easier to stop at one place. Yeah.
That's because you don't want to go further down. If you want to stop there.
And when you're cutting, one thing to think about is the angle. If you find it very hard, you might be pushing the blade in at too high of an angle. Okay, so that would be really good if you're trying to create a curve in, is starting out like that. See, I'm cutting really deep, but that requires a lot more effort. So I'm more likely to slip and go into this one. If I keep it really, really close, then I can make really, really thin slices. So changing the angle, so if it's too difficult, try moving the blade a little bit closer to your stick and push it through. Now you might also find that if you are really careful, you can actually make what we call feather sticks, and that's a really good way to work on control. So feather stick is used in firelighting. It makes a big twig like this, thin enough to get a small fire going. So what you do is you carve down towards a point and just stop. And bring your blade back up again and gently carve in. See if you can make them really, really thin, the feathers. It requires quite a lot of concentration, but you can end up with really, really thin shavings. If you can get them to curl on dry wood, then those will light really easily.
Because yours was a smaller piece of wood than the curvings were.
So just to summarize, make sure that you're cutting to the side, make sure that everyone's far enough away from you that they don't get hurt. You can either push down straight using the knife near the handle, or you can move your knife along from one end to the other. You can also keep the knife in one place and then just move the wood.
What type of wood do you recommend?
Any green wood really works well. When you start with dry woods, oak and hickory and so on are a lot harder, so I wouldn't recommend them. But hazel is a really good start because it grows in nice straight poles and it's really easy to find. But most woods work. I'll see if I can find an article that I can put on the Facebook page about the different types of wood, because it is a question I get asked quite often.
And because we were watching this YouTube video where they had a flat piece and they were like carving like a, I can't remember if it was a duck or something out of it.
Yeah.
But how did they get those? Where did you get this from? And what was, I don't know what it was, what type of wood it would have been. Because hazel's like this, isn't it? It's quite thin and long.
If you want a flat piece, then you would split something this kind of thickness down into individual